Hey guys, this is Justin at thecarflip.com, and today I have a question that I'm going to be answering. But before I do, I wanted to invite you to join our Facebook group. It's The Car Flip private Facebook group, and if you want to be a member, it's free. I post videos like this one. I post little tips and tricks and things that I'm doing during the day as I'm flipping cars. A lot of things that don't make it onto the website actually make it onto the Facebook page. The whole reason I have this question to answer today is actually because of the Facebook group. A guy saw a video and posted a question, which I'm going to be reading here in just a second. But if you want to be a member of that Facebook group, it's really simple. Simply go to thecarflip.com. Subscribe. There's going to be a bar up at the top. There's going to be a little thing on the side over here, and something will eventually kind of pop up in the bottom. Simply put your email address in. It's going to send you a thank you email, but it's also in that thank you email going to have an invitation to join that Facebook group. It's totally free. It's totally private. Anything you post in the group stays in the group. No one else can see it, and I'm going to blow this bug out of my face. Here we go. So we would love to have you in the Facebook group. We're small. We're growing. You get a lot of things you don't see here on the blog. So back to the question. This question is from Travis, and it says, I'm going to read this. It says, "Hi, I enjoy your work. Thank you. I have flipped a few cars myself, but it's always been a one-off kind of thing. Any tips as to judging the market as to what would sell and what doesn't? I mostly repair and fiddle with old British cars, but there is no market for those." Okay, a couple questions there that I got. One is, how do you find good cars? And this bug is driving me crazy. How do you find good cars? And then how do you know how to draw the line between what you enjoy and what would actually sell? So first off, I saw there you said I've sold a few cars, but they've been one-off type of things. What kind of cars were those? You obviously know the market for those particular vehicles. Let's make up something. Let's say it was a 2002 Ford Taurus and you sold it for $3,500. You know that car would sell for $3,500, and you also know what you invested, so you know reasonably kind of what you can buy that for. So why not stick with that particular car? If you've sold it before, you know the market. I do this a lot with Jeep Wranglers. I've got one, you can't see it, in the backyard over here. I've got another one actually being worked on right now. So I've got two Jeep Wranglers right now. I've sold, I think I'm at 4, so this would be 5 and 6 that I have right now that I've sold. This will be within the last 3 months. I do a lot of Jeep Wranglers because I know the market. And the market is also hot for Jeep Wranglers, and that's a fairly universal thing. Jeep Wranglers are pretty hot no matter where you are. Other cars that are very desirable, you can't really see it very good, but I'm going to point out in this video. I'm going to try to do my little finger right there, and it's getting really windy, so hopefully we don't blow the camera over. That car right there is a 2002 Ford Explorer. Now, not the most fancy of vehicles. I mean, it's leather, it's got heated seats, it's nice, it's got a third row, it's got 180,000 miles, but it's a car that I only have. Let's see, I got right at $1,000. I paid $500 for it. I had to pay $450 to put a timing chain in it. And I'm gonna have a couple little things here and there, some touch-up paint, some simple things that I'm gonna be doing to it. But that's a $1,000 car. That's gonna be something I hope to sell for around $3,000. People looking for a $3,000 car aren't expecting something really nice. And this is it's a really nice vehicle. It's gonna be leather, it's gonna have a third row, it's gonna look nice on the outside, and it's gonna have a brand new timing chain. So someone's gonna get a good deal, but they're also gonna be getting a good price. I'll buy these all day long. Now I'm going to show you another car. I wasn't planning on doing this, but let's see if you can see it in the video. This car, and this pointing when the camera's really hard, this car right here, that's a 2004 Porsche Cayenne. Great car. That's my personal car. I wouldn't necessarily buy those to sell because there's not a huge market for Porsche Cayennes. I love it. It's 340 horsepower. It's got a lot of get up and go. It's a lot different than driving my wife's minivan here. When I'm switching back and forth, I forget which one I'm driving. And anyway, it's not as fun to drive the minivan, which is what we end up in a lot because we have 3 kids. But I wouldn't necessarily buy the Porsche Cayenne. And I noticed you said you're selling a lot of, or working on a lot of British cars. People kind of shy away from the British cars because they're not known to be the most reliable. You look at cars like Land Rover. You look really cool in a Land Rover, but if the Consumer Reports are right, you end up working on them a little more, and people expect those to be more expensive to be worked on. And if you work on them, you know there's really nothing different necessarily. It's just people don't work on them as much, so they charge more to work on them. They're not as familiar with them, so people aren't going to be prone to buy those as much. But let's say you take that expertise that you know on the British cars and you transfer that over to, say, a Ford Explorer, and you can find them in the price range. If you can work on a British car, you can work on any car, so you could easily transfer that knowledge over. Whatever those cars were, those one-off cars that you sold, you know the market better than any other car because you've already sold that car. Look for cars similar because you know what you should be buying them for, and you also know what they'll sell for. I'm not really gonna, I don't have a fancy graph here, but I'm gonna show you. This here, if you can imagine line going this way, these are the cars that sell. And then these are the cars that you like. If you can find somewhere here in the middle, if you can find a car that you enjoy driving, but also that sells, for me, those are Jeep Wranglers. Jeep Wranglers are hot, but I also enjoy them. I can have a good time in them. I can have fun with them. They're easy to work on. They're cheap. Parts are very plentiful, but everyone wants a Jeep Wrangler. They sell for higher than Kelley Blue Book, and a lot of folks don't realize what they have because they've got an old beat-up Wrangler, they think, and all it needs is some carpet, maybe a couple little touch-ups here and there. Maybe it's missing a back seat, needs some tires. Really easy things to do, but it's an intersection of what I enjoy and what sells. You're gonna meet it right here in the middle. For you, I don't know what that is. Whatever you've sold, remember, you have some knowledge in that area. You can easily duplicate that. Sell the same car over and over and over again. Find them, buy them. You know the market, sell them. You also know the market there. And then you're going to gain a knowledge of what goes wrong, common problems that they have. When a Jeep Wrangler makes a certain noise, I know what it is because I've sold 4 of them in the last 3 months. When you have a little rip in the top of a Jeep Wrangler, I know I can get the needle and thread out and fix it. If I'm missing a back seat, I know where to go to find the back seat. I know how to get the cheapest one that there is anywhere. You can do a junkyard, you can do eBay. I know which one's cheaper because I've done it before. So find that intersection of what you enjoy and what actually sells. Use your knowledge. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Buy the same thing over and over again. Maybe those cars that you've bought would be good, base sales to judge your next flip off of. And use that knowledge that you have working on British cars and transfer it over, because the British cars are going to be very specialty. You're going to have a 1 in 100 buyer to find it, as opposed to like a Ford Explorer, we're going to have 50 out of 100 looking for it. Stay with something that you're comfortable with, as in something that you've done over and over again. I hope this helps. Like I said at the beginning, if you're not part of the Facebook group, please head over to thecarflip.com, subscribe to the blog. I'll invite you to join the Facebook group. Travis, I hope this helps. If you have any other questions, you've got the Facebook Messenger there. Feel free to message me. If you have any other questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Have a great day. I am in between the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter of the Panthers Jacksonville Jaguars game, and we were up 17-9 when I left, so hopefully we're not down. Have a great day. See ya.